And when you look at the way in which their season ended, pretty disappointing, I would imagine, for a team that's been knocking on the door the last couple of years to lose to an upstart New York Rangers team. They've also got a lot of decisions to make this summer, Mike, and they revolve around some of the guys whose contracts are up. What happens to Tony DeAngelo? What happens to Vincent Trocheck? What happens to Nino Niederreiter? And the one big question I have for you is, how do they find a real difference maker, a real star up front that they can plug into their lineup?
That's the hardest question. No doubt about it, man. Like, because this is a team that's missing star power. I think Sebastian Aho, if he played in a bigger market, would be known across the country. Also, if he could just give us some clips, maybe with some a little bit better sound bites, it would help too. But like, they weren't able to break through with the Rangers, and they had a tough time in playoffs because they don't have the game-breaking ability. So they're going to have to walk that fine line. Are the Hurricanes willing to shell out and get somebody who's a premier scorer in free agency? Or are they going to hope it comes from within? Who are they willing to let go? And they've got 19 million in cap space, but we all know that goes quickly, Frank. I look at Nino Niederreiter. That's a player that I really want to keep around. He's an identity piece of that team, coming off a great season with 44 points. His hits, what he does is huge. And Kakaniemi's probably going to play an elevated role. I think they have to keep DeAngelo, though. I mean, Hamilton's out the door. They replace him with DeAngelo on a cheap deal. You don't get defensemen with that type of production off the scrap heap very often. I don't know if they can do that twice in a row. And I also think they've got an interesting piece from within, Frank. Jack Drury's ripping it up in the American League. He had 52 points in 68 games as a rookie. Now he's leading the American League in playoff scoring. His team, the Chicago Wolves, is going to the Calder Cup finals. He's 22 years old, leading rookies in scoring. He had 2 goals with the Hurricanes when he was up. So I think there's a chance they try to do it from within, but I'm with you, Frank. Like, I think the Hurricanes need some star power, and some way they got to figure out a way to swing it to make it happen.
Yeah, I just don't know if they can find a way to keep and afford Tony DeAngelo. I think he's going to be expensive. What kind of term is he going to get out there on the market?
Mm-hmm.
Is someone willing to give him a 5-year deal or a 4-year deal that would probably price the Hurricanes out? I think if he's only looking at 1-year deals, maybe they can be competitive, or 2-year deals in terms of trying to keep him. But that probably makes the cost even a little bit higher. He was still a 60-plus point defenseman over an 82-game season. And I think most people were surprised to see a guy that was a UFA last year, of course, this time around is an RFA. So the Hurricanes do hold his rights. If they're not able to keep him, they're certainly going to have to trade him. And so that's why Tony DeAngelo is on our trade target board. We will have a fresh update for you on the trade targets list on Thursday.